What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about short loads versus long loads. I said short loads versus long loads, or short loads versus gigantic loads. What my opinion is about doing 3 short loads in a week, or one long load. Everybody focuses on the deadhead miles, okay? Let's talk about that. We'll talk about all that in this video. But before we do that, it's William with the Riverstone Life and sister wife. That's how we start these videos out. Also, if you want to be an RV transporter, go down in the description below, click on the link, it'll take you to Wave. They'll ask you, how did you find out about Wave? You're gonna go, the Riverstone Life, like it says in that back window. Then you're gonna say, William Sikora is my referral. Why do I want William Sikora as my referral? Because I watch his videos. I hear good things about him. I don't know, I like him. Heck, I like his wife. That works for me. Put down William Sikora if you just like my wife. I'm okay with that. Watch the videos. Tell us what you think. Leave us comments. Email us. All that fun stuff. I'm here to help you out. And then you can ask me these questions personal because you'll have my phone number. And if I can help you, that's great. If you just need a pep talk that day, you know William, that's what I do. I try to help everybody out. Just try to lift you, get you in that good thought process, and get you out there making some money. Right? That's all this is about. That's what these videos are about. That's what me and Robin are about. Do we make a little money on this? Yes, we do. Did we make money before that? No, we did not. Will we make money on this forever? Probably not. Will we still make the videos? Yes, we'll make the videos. They could be about other subjects. They could be whatever we're doing at that moment. Also, if you like listening to William, because you know he can flap his lips like anybody, he's always got a story. If you like that, then you need to go down in the description. Robin's going to have my other YouTube channel down there where I get to talk about whatever I want to talk about. You might like it, you might not. It might be the best channel ever. I don't know. But we're going to do another YouTube channel. Actually, we've done a YouTube channel. It's already got one video out. Videos will be out every Sunday. Just one video a week, so it's not going to be a lot. So, you know, if you can only handle so much of me, I'm going to try to make those videos as short and right to the point as possible. But you never know, because a story might come up, right? Well, that's not what you're here for, right? You're here for short loads versus long loads. I'm going to make this as simple as possible. First of all, the reason I do think some of the guys do short loads is because they have an older truck with a lot of miles on it. And if you watch the last video, when you're talking about their fear, okay, if you missed that, Robin will put that video down in this description too. I think that they do short loads because of that fear. Or some people still have a fear of just being in the unknown. I know that fear. I had it when I met Robin, when she said, we're going to go to South Africa, or we're going to go here. And I was like, we had nobody, no nothing. Some places we went, we didn't speak the language. That fear, but that fear made it so when it comes to RV transport now, driving around the United States, that's nothing. So I don't have that fear anymore. But some people do. So I think for some reasons, they pick short loads over long loads. Or they pick, or everybody's told them that deadhead miles, you're going to lose money on deadhead miles. I'm not a tax accountant, okay, guys? Stop asking me to do your taxes. You can figure this out, or you can pay a professional. But the government lets you deduct all miles on that vehicle that had anything to do with that job. Driving out there when your point is Indiana and you're driving all the way out west, you have to get back to Indiana, okay? That is business related. Those miles are business related, okay? That's bottom line. The government gives you enough deductions just with the mileage deduction. I think it was, everybody likes to quote me, I think it was like 76 cents per mile this last year, and your per diem. Sometimes that is the only deductions you need in this job. The mileage that you're putting on and that per diem will almost pick up your expenses doing this job. Is it going to work in every situation? No. That's why you get a professional to do your taxes. We have a video out there. I'll have Robin link that, put that link in this video too, talking about that company that Wave pushes out there. And I've talked to them personally, and they can help you if you have that fear, okay? Don't let those little things give you the fear from doing this job. That's what I'm trying to say. But that's not what this video is about. It's been a long day. It's hot out here. The sun's beating on me, right? It's about short loads versus long loads. And the reason I do long loads over short loads, this is my train of thinking. It's my opinion. You take from it what you want and you make it work for you. That's why you're doing this job. They give you the outline. They give you the platform and you do it to what makes you feel the best. Because it doesn't matter what I say. At the end of the day, if you feel good doing it your way, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Okay. You're paid by the mileage. You're paid by the mile. Bottom line, okay? If I'm gonna grab a load in Indiana that is super busy, roads are congested, all that stuff that I hate, I wanna go as far away from that as possible and get paid. And I know when I have to, if I don't get a reload, I get lots and lots of reloads, and you will too if you do it right. If I don't get a reload, I have to go all the way back to Indiana and do it again. But I only have that 2-hour span of that awful traffic. You see what I'm saying there? Going out west, I don't deal with, I deal with wind. I've been in wind for 40 years. Wind does not bother me. So when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at, that 2 hours of hell, okay? And then that 2 hours of hell again. But I went all the way out west and it paid me almost $4,000, okay? That's my train of thought when it comes to this subject. I'm being paid to drive per mile. I'm driving all those miles and I'm getting paid. I'm taking my deadhead miles and I'm taking that fuel expense off there, and I'm writing my deadheads off on my taxes because it's work related to get me back to do that job again. I'm not on personal time. For you guys to say, William, you do adventures. When I do my adventures, I end myself in that city and I go do my adventures and I come back and I start in that city. So when I'm doing my adventures, those mileage deductions are on my YouTube channel. So I get to deduct every mile. Maybe you want a YouTube channel so you can do the same thing. But the miles on my personal time are for this channel if I'm making a video. The miles when I'm hauling these campers go on that part of our taxes. That's the difference when it comes to deducting all these miles. We only do what the government allows us, but the government allows a lot if you actually pay attention. And if you don't know what you're doing, like I said before, there'll be a link down there for people to help you. Or just go to a tax accountant. Just Google tax guy in my area. Sometimes you got to go to 2 or 3 of them because they're not familiar with the trucking industry. We're still basically the trucking industry. Okay, that's what I do there. Short load. Okay, this is what I can't get over. I'm in a yard looking for a unit. I'm hoping the unit's all in good shape so I can actually deliver the unit. I'm hoping it doesn't have a flat tire. I'm gonna go through all that, get that unit hooked up, and I'm gonna go and deliver that. In all that traffic, usually going through Chicago to another area with a lot of traffic. By the time the traffic finally gets down a little bit, I'm almost to my delivery, then it picks up again, and depending where I'm delivering it, and I get it delivered. Now I'm going through all that delivery time with Camping World or whatever store. Okay, my hours when I'm doing that, picking those units up and delivering you, I am not getting paid for, you're not getting paid for. This job does not pay for any of the time. It only pays by the mile. This is common sense to me. So now I've done that, now I've deadheaded back to Indiana so I can do it all over again. Go to that yard, find that trailer, look at that trailer, make sure there's no damage, and then when there is damage, I'm stuck there for hours till somebody makes a decision on what they want me to do, or they fix a tire. Do you see where I'm going with this, guys? You're not getting paid for any of that time. That's the bottom line. So those guys out there that say, I don't make the money William does, he's so full of BS, blah, blah, blah. I do make the money. I have a lot of deadhead miles. You know it on the truck. If you watch the videos, you know how many miles it had on it before. You know how many miles you can go through our videos and get an idea what's on this new transmission, tell you. And that's another video. I'm gonna tell you how I've kept this transmission together, and that's gonna be a big video. That will help a lot of people deciding what they wanna buy. I have a lot more knowledge on this truck now than I ever had. There'll be some more truck videos coming out too. But do you see where I'm going with this video? Short versus long. Do you know when I drive back from out west, it's usually 75, 80 mile an hour, getting 25, 26 miles per gallon on my GMC, you know, with my bed cover, all my stuff off it so that I'm less wind restricted. I do think about this stuff, guys. And I'm just with the cruise, listening to my radio, talking to Robin, whatever. Drive till we're out of time and then go and get some good rest at a hotel or whatever we decide to do. If we sleep in the truck, no stress related, nothing. Does that make sense? I get back there 2 hours away from Indiana, there's my stress again. I got that 2 hours, get that load hooked all up, and I got 2 hours to get out of there again. This is my reasoning behind short versus long. I think the guys with the shorts or have older trucks, they don't really feel comfortable going that far, and I can definitely understand that. Fear is a big thing. I think that's why my numbers are bigger every month. And you know that I'm building more money, I'm having more money left over, but I'm wearing out a truck. And that's why I put 20% back. You know, you still have to have a lot of luck. I talk about luck in every video because even at that 20%, if I buy a brand new truck, it's going to be 4 or 5 years before I have enough money in that account to buy a brand new truck, unless other things happen. But after a year, if I made it through that first year, I got almost enough money in there to buy a motor. But if you bought a new truck, that first year is all warranty. And if you do things right, if you buy it from a dealer, because there's lots of dealers out there, if you really work them over, where you can get a drivetrain, lifetime drivetrain warranty. Just don't tell them what you're doing, guys. Just walk in there like you want a truck, try to talk them into that lifetime warranty. And if you get that, then you got it made, because the 20% you're putting back will buy you a new truck when you're ready for a new truck. That's why I don't worry about deadhead miles. Maybe this video should have been deadhead miles instead of short loads versus long loads. And I know you guys will leave comments down there if you think I'm totally full of, you know what it is, beep, whatever. But that's how I look at it, and that's how I've been doing it for almost 18 months, and that's how I'm gonna keep doing it. But there's still short loads that need to be done out there. So sometimes you gotta take a short load, help out your recruiter or your dispatcher. I had to think for a second. Help out that dispatcher, you know, maybe get her to give you that short load and then a long load to go, you know, kick that one out. I do a lot of short loads, but they're reloads. And I'm already out there. And a lot of times they're going back where I want to go. And it just pays for all the expenses to go out there, and it makes you a lot more money. So I'm not telling you not to do reloads if they're short. I'm just telling you, look at the numbers, and just, you still have to be paid if you're physically hooking that thing up, unhooking it, doing all that extra work that you're not getting paid for. You're getting paid for those miles when you're driving. You're deducting those deadhead miles because you're driving, and it's part of your business and your job. You see where you're getting paid on both ends. If you're doing all them short loads and you're spending all this time in these yards doing all this physical work, you're not getting paid for that. Bottom line, I hope this video helps you. I've talked long enough, and you know how we end these, always.